You know, sometimes I get in the Billy Hatcher mood, and then I realize how funny it is that I even get into that kind of mood to begin with. We all had a bunch of those games that we played when we were younger that end up sticking with us throughout our lifetime. And it's funny to me that Billy Hatcher has been one of those games that has stuck out to me for this long. It's something I think about when I think of Sega games, which is weird because it's only ever had the one game. There's like countless of other Sega franchises that have been around for way longer and you could say have way more of an impact. No, you could definitely say have more of an impact than Billy Hatcher. So I figured it'd be pretty neat to put out something about Billy Hatcher and why I still think about it. I first played this game on the GameCube preview disc in 2003, so I was like 7-ish at the time. And that led to the eventual rental, so obviously you can see there's a childhood factor there already. And Billy Hatcher had this really weird and intriguing premise of this young kid and his friends just being thrown into a magical land of chickens called Morning Land. You know, a bunch of fucking crows take the morning away and some shit, and then gotta restore morning back and by getting all the emblems and all that. And yeah, just some weird ass video game stuff. From how the game is set up, it had that sort of Mario Sunshine-like quality with how you have to select these missions of all these different areas, and you know the main goal is to collect the emblems, which is like a parallel to Shine Sprites. And considering how fond I was of Super Mario Sunshine as a kid, then yeah, that gameplay loop just hooked me right away. And now that I think about it, it's also funny how each area in Billy Hatcher shares like similar missions sometimes, which is also the case for Super Mario Sunshine. And speaking of similar qualities, you also play as a young blonde kid that starts out with blue clothes. Yeah. But beyond that, it just happened to be a 3D platformer that I enjoyed. Everything just revolved around this egg theme, like you hatch your power-up from eggs, you hatch animal buddies, and you're just kinda useless in this game unless you're rolling around an egg, since that's your main means of attacking and you know, doing the various platforming and all that. And I know that's a point of contention too, in that you can't really do much unless you're rolling around an egg. And I know that the controls when rolling around an egg aren't as refined as they probably should be. Adding on to that, this game is pretty tough too. It's a little annoying that it has this nice kid-friendly aesthetic because you're going to be dying a lot and there's a lot of frustrating missions or segments in here that's just frustrating to deal with sometimes. By the way, I'm not at all knocking the aesthetic on its own, it's just not as an easy time as you might be led to believe. I especially remember in one of the missions for the Sand Ruins level, there's this underground labyrinth section that just took such a long time to beat because of how often you die, and for checkpoints you just get sent right back to the start of that labyrinth. And there's various other tough missions like here and there. The entire giant palace level, oh god, this shit's a beast. And just for an extra kick in the shins, you're also ranked upon completion of each mission. It's ranked upon how fast you complete the mission, as well as the combos you got for defeating enemies with some egg-based attacks. And the sucky thing is, like, if you die mid-level, then all of that data is just kind of, all of your combo data is like wiped away, and you're more than likely going to end up with a D rank. I don't think it really matters too much in the grand scheme of things, but like I said, it's just an extra kick there to remind you of how badly you performed. There's a few extra cool things in this game too, like those missions where you could play as Billy's other friends. It sucks that they're only playable in their respective missions, but they're there. Also, how the fuck did they get their chicken suits? I thought that was a special thing only for Billy. Though if you really want something to chew on, there's these Sonic Team eggs in which various Sega mascots make their cameo appearances here. Their abilities usually aren't that special from the other animal abilities that are in the game, but come on, these are freaking awesome. The game as a whole is just filled to the brim with that Sega charm, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was headed by Yuji Naka, who of course a lot of us know is the man behind stuff like Choo Choo Rocket, Nights in Dreams, and Seamus. The world design and the characters just fit right into his other works. And I guess it comes down to that same feeling you get from other Sonic Team games from that era. That charm that just feels so unique to these kinds of games. Oh, and adding on to the Sonic Team cameos, there's also those unlockable Game Boy Advance titles that you can find. I suppose there isn't a whole lot more to say after that. It's just my longing for a new Billy Hatcher stems from my longing for that aspect of my childhood. But that aside, Billy Hatcher is the kind of world where they can easily make up a new random story or scenario for a new game, and have more levels, more power-ups, more unique mechanics, and all of that. My fondness for this IP led him to be practically the only character I play as for Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and my shattered heart for him being cut for Transformed, even though that game still had a Billy Hatchet course. And don't even get me started on Team Sonic Racing ditching the whole Sega crossover idea altogether. And that should finally sum up my thoughts for Billy Hatcher, for now at least. Thanks for watching, and until next time.